this as he closes it down in the corner on Zucker, creates the turnover, allows Jake Evans to collect this puck, skate it all the way up the ice. It's a 2-on-1. Evans coming down the right-hand side, and it's a wrist shot that makes it through the line, and we are going to see a goaltending change early on here. Lindy Ruff has had enough. His team is all in. They cannot afford to get behind any further, and it comes with the Lukanen. Wow, what a start to this game, JP. 32 seconds in, Rasmus Dahlin silences this crowd, but the Canadiens come right back and blow the doors off the Bell Center as Jake Evans scores the first short-handed goal of the Stanley Cup playoffs for the Montreal Canadiens. Alex Lyon's night is done. He makes 0 saves on 3 shots. As the Canadiens fire it down the ice in their own zone, this goes out of play off a deflection. As Dobish had made a stop there on Tage Thompson. It's not exactly the same start we had here in Game 5, but boy.
Yo, Flipside, what's up? You are the first.
We're going to go to break here. Montreal rattle off 3 straight. Jack-Eye, Devinov, Evans.
How are you doing today?
Game 6 of Habs Hockey on TSN 690. For the first time in a decade, the NHL returns to the great outdoors of Winnipeg. The Heritage Classic. October 25th, Mark Scheifele and the Winnipeg Jets face off against Nick Suzuki and the Montreal Canadiens. Outdoors at Princess Auto Stadium in the Tim Hortons NHL Heritage Classic at the outdoor field in Winnipeg, Manitoba. Don't miss your chance to experience hockey outdoors live. Hockey under the sky. Get your tickets now at NHL.com/Heritage Classic. I've always wondered what kind of tires.
Resting right now. We have a storm coming, and I'm working on Backroom's Twisted Tales video. Voice to text is terrible. How big of a storm do you think you're gonna get?
Point S. Until June 30th, get $100 on a prepaid card when you buy 4 eligible Hankook tires. Details at points.ca. Are you looking for a damage insurance broker that specializes in commercial?
You'll be back in a bit, finishing your video. Okay, sounds good. Thanks for coming in.
SR Insurance Brokers are the perfect advisors for you. With more than 65 years experience, SR Insurance is proud of its team of brokers who stand up for their ability to select the best products for your business.
It's thundering loud, no idea. I see. All right, well, I'll be here. I'll be here when you are finished your video. I'll check it out too when you got her uploaded.
9:25 to go in the first period at Bell Center, and what a turn of events we've had in the first 10 minutes of the game. Buffalo opened up the goal scoring, but then Jack-Eye, Devinov, and then Evans shorthanded for Matheson at 10:14. Have completely shell-shocked the Buffalo Sabres. Well, they're pointing out they've made the goaltending change. And listen, Buffalo nearly came back with exactly what they wanted was a reply goal. Tage Thompson came down the ice and run one off the iron. Already had a goaltending change. Lyon is out after 0 saves on 3 shots, and Lukanen back in.
I'm sorry for the late stream. Montreal is up 3-1. Buffalo starting goalie Leon was pulled on 3 shots and 3 goals. Lukanen's in now. There's 8 minutes left in the first. Montreal is up 3-1, including a shorthanded goal.
Laid off the boards. Have shooting in. Kind of a tie-up in front of the Montreal bench there as both teams are going off the change. As Tage Thompson fires it in from center and all the way around the boards. Benson trying to dig it loose. Matheson takes it away. And up the far side. Now trying to get it out to center. Sabres holding in. Center and try. That one gets knocked away from Thompson. Back to the line. That one's thrown on by Timmins. And Benson goes down in front. But check that Norris on Buffalo, and there's going to be a penalty against Montreal. Mike Matheson.
Matheson's going off for a penalty. Looks like it was a trip.
And it's going to be a double minor on Mike Matheson with 8:13.
Double minor.
It's 3-1 Montreal.
Buffalo's going to go on the power play here.
And perhaps the door is now open. JP for the Sabres to find a way to salvage this first period.
Sabres have hit a post. Thompson has been decent on his draws early. We saw in the last power play a clean win that allowed Buffalo to get a little bit of time in zone, get some shots.
Face-off blocker sign on Gobish. Sabres are 0 for 1 in the power play. Montreal do have a short-handed goal. Battle for it, near side corner. Habs win it. Coleno able to jam it off the boards and all the way out down the ice.
Good communication between Gouli and Milano. And a little bit mixed up. They did, in fact, sort it out. Gouli relays that puck up to Milano. It's an easy clear.
Thompson to center. Hands it off. Here's Quinn right side. Moving in for Buffalo. Swept around the boards. Thompson back down low to Benson. Out in front for Doan. Couldn't get the shot off. Now Byram up higher. Remember, Darlene's still in the penalty box here. So Byram is the quarterback on the first power play. Thompson with his shot. That's stopped by Dobish.
Big save, Dobesh on the power play.
Byram settles it. Play to the near side. Knocked down by Valeno. And he gets another clear from Montreal.
That's a hand-eye coordination that you need when you're playing on the penalty kill. That puck's bouncing in. Valeno knocks it down, gets it under control, and calmly clears it down the ice.
Here's Ryan McLeod through center. Off the tuck right side. Into Montreal territory. Byram is to the far wing. Zucker back to Byram. Byram over for Norris. Back and forth with Tuck. Norris out of the slot. Long shot. Save made by Dobish. Rebound spills out for Dano, who will clear it away off the boards.
I don't know if that is the rebound that Dobish wanted to give up. But either way, it comes right up to Dano, who clears the puck.
6:35 to go in the first. 2:22 to go in this double minor.
What's up, everyone? Thanks for coming in.
Set it up top. Here's Power, left side. Zucker, cross ice from McLeod. Long shot, and Dobish wasn't set, but it went wide.
Lost his footing.
Now bobble at the point by Power. He's got to go back to neutral territory. Here goes Tuck. Swings in behind the net. First half of the double minor is now over.
2 minutes left on that power play for Buffalo.
Spins it around.
Buffalo's dominating the shots, 10-4.
Jason Zucker.
There you go, Jason Zucker on the power play, 3-2.
And it is a power play goal to make it 3-2.
It's a bit of a lucky bounce as it finds Norris' stick, but the skill takes over as Norris gets it under control, head up, and he finds Zucker on the back post for the tap in.
So the good news for Montreal is that the first half of the double minor was over, so this goal does put us back to 5-5. But that's got to put some wind back in the sails of Buffalo, JP.
No question. If you go 0 for 2, Canadiens 2 power play attempts in game 5. All of a sudden, you get something back. You feel better about yourself.
There's puck in center ice. Canadiens collected 5:56 to go in this first period. It is 3-2 again, just like it was in game 5. We cannot play an uninteresting first period in the series if the Sabres down the far side. Tage Thompson lost the handle on it. Canadiens go the other way with Caulfield. They just push it in. Goal is Zucker from Norris and Quinn at 13:56 in the first period. Sabres with 2 shots on 10, or rather 2 goals on 10 shots. Here come the Sabres into the Montreal zone. Benson down low, taken away. And Matheson over to Nick Suzuki. Have sit on it behind the net. Incomplete line line change. Texier steps onto the ice. He's out there right now with Davidov and Alex Newhook. The puck is shot in from center. Davidov far side. Harassed by Bowen Byron. Puck spills free for Texier. Back to the line. Dodson cross ice and they hold it in. And that couldn't have been by much as the Habs working to the far side for Davidov. Through to the slot. Davidov stays with it. Dishes off to Hudson left side. He's under pressure. Able to thread it through for Newhook. Back in front. Davidov put it just wide. What a goal that would have been. All the way to the point. Dobson looks it over near side. Chopped at by Lane Hudson. Far side, Dobson. Over to Newhook. Davidov up high. That pass is surely out to center as the Canadiens will reset. Good shift for the Davidov line as they had Texier joining them on that box. As here comes Kirby Doc right back in for the Habs. Down low, that one just missed. Centering try, that's pushed wide of the net. That's the far side, Doc. Back to the middle, shot for goalie, hit a body and goes wide.
Hit a body and goes wide.
Now Metsa hands it up the far wall. All the way out there, center it goes.
The Canadian fans, they appreciate the pushback.
Habs in on the left side. Taken away. Behind the net by Owen Power. Power stretches through center. Far side and Allen's side.
All right.
Hudson. Jack guy behind his own net. And here go the Canadiens looking to go up to center. A bit of a sloppy pass from Deneau. It's recovered by Montreal. And Deneau's got it at the Sabre line. Back check from Benson, knocks it away. Now here's Lane Hudson right back into the Sabre zone. Played down low. Tia Samuelson on it. Back up the near side. Hudson to center for Buffalo. As Hudson goes down, there's going to be a penalty here on Buffalo.
Hudson goes down. There's going to be a penalty coming up on Buffalo.
Hudson does go down easily. You can see Norris talking to him about it.
Oh, it might be getting reviewed. It could be a dive.
And is there someone else going for Montreal? There might be.
I think this is Hudson going on for embellishment.
Yep. Hudson's going off as well.
Hudson is going off for embellishment.
So there it is. 2 minutes on either side. As we will
2 minute misconduct and 2 minute for embellishment.
3-2 Montreal.
It's 3-2 Montreal.
When you choose the STM to get to an event, you aren't just riding public transit. You're riding a wave of collective energy with fans just like you all the way to the big event. Heading to the Bell Center? No need to put
All right, you guys, we're back.
Nice stick from Nick Matheson. And he went back to the bench. He participated on that power play goal, but his mouth does not stop bleeding. I'm not sure if it's his tooth that's broken or not, but either way,
Just give me one moment here, you guys.
he'll get things squared away. I'm sure we'll see him at the start of the second period. But it's going to be Elvis who comes out to serve the remainder of his penalty.
So neutral zone face-off here. It'll be McLeod versus Suzuki, and Suzuki wins it back. Noah Dobson will pick it up in his own end. Skates around the net, up the center it goes. Taken away by Ryan McLeod. Sabres settle it down. Drop back to McLeod. Up through center it goes. McLeod dishes up, right side. Quinn moves in with a wrister. That was a piece of Dobish. And goes all the way out to center ice. Sabres reload. As Rasmus Dahlin. Watch it through the neutral zone. Off to Quinn, right side.
All right, 4-4 right now.
Stops.
30 more seconds.
Back up toward the line he goes. He's going to go all the
We
way
got
to center ice.
50 seconds left in the first period. Buffalo's dominating the shots right now, but Montreal holds the lead by 1 goal.
I don't mind that play by Quinn as he had some fresh bodies come on. Just over a minute and a half left to go with this first.
Buffalo to center. Right side, Power. Moves it in behind the Montreal net. Alex Tuck trying to collect it. Battle for it, far corner. That's taken away. Newhook. They'll play it all the way around.
All right, back to even strength. 30 seconds left.
Back to the far side. Carrier under pressure from Tuck. Habs able to settle it down here. 20 seconds to go in 4-on-4.
Canadians' first touch of their own zone has been dreadful in the last few minutes.
Here's Slavkovsky to center. Right in over the Buffalo line. Slavkovsky turns back to center ice. And then spins it off to Gooley. Back through center. Slavkovsky gets knocked over off a good hit by Bowen Byram. Back to 5-on-5. Here's Benson moving into the Montreal zone. Poked away. Habs have numbers through center.
Here we go.
Racing after it. Can't catch up to it in time.
Nope, nothing.
Centering try goes all the way through to the far side.
And that should do it.
And the Habs moving around the boards.
Intermission.
Hudson trying to set it up for Slavkovsky. That's siphoned away. And the Sabres sit on it behind the net. There's 13 seconds to go in this first period. One last line change. Owen Power has it. 5 seconds to go. He'll feed it up the far side. One last try for Buffalo. Here's Krebs moving in. He's going to stop and run out of time. And this first period belongs to Montreal with a 3-2 lead.
Buffalo Sabres start the game off with exactly the start that they want as they get a goal early on. The Canadians fight back. Looks like they are going to run away and hide after they create a 2-goal lead. Buffalo manages to get back into this. What a start to Game 6.
How about Rasmus Dahlin, 32 seconds in. That's answered back by Jack I at 140, Demidov at 812, and then Evans at 10:14. They chase Alex Lyon. And then Jason Zucker with a power play goal at 13:56 has kept the Sabres somewhat still in this here. Down a goal, 40 minutes to play in Game 6. We've got our first intermission roundtable. Coming to you next on Habs Hockey on TSN 690.
Hi, it's Ken Connors. When I need to take a little break from keeping up with the news, you know what I do? I go get my Habs fix and I
What's up, everyone? How's it going out there? First intermission.
Held up along the boards by Matheson. It's taken away by Evans, and he's got Anderson with him. Here goes Evans from far side, moves in, shot, scores!
After 20 minutes, it is Montreal 3, Buffalo 2. Shots on goal, Buffalo 11, Montreal 4. Hits, Buffalo 9, Montreal 7. Faceoffs 1, Buffalo 6, Montreal 10. Power plays, Buffalo's 1 for 3, Montreal's 1 for 1. Penalty minutes, Buffalo 6, Montreal 10. Giveaways, Buffalo 5, Montreal 3. Takeaways, Buffalo 1, Montreal 0. And block shots, Buffalo 5, Montreal 2. Story of the period really is Buffalo's goalie, Lion, letting in 3 goals on 3 shots and getting pulled afterwards. Buffalo seemed to compose themselves, and they got last goal was on the power play there to close the gap. They're out shooting Montreal, but Montreal is winning more faceoffs, and it's basically an even game. We're looking at another even game here.
Hudson and Cole Caulfield, that was a power play goal, 2-1 halves. And then Jake Evans, a shorthanded goal, his second of the postseason, scoring in back-to-back games. Mike Matheson with an assist that made it 3-1. And then it was a Jason Zucker from Josh Norris and Jack Quinn, also a power play goal, making it 3-2. It's time for the first intermission roundtable. We have John Campbell and JP O'Connor here in the broadcast booth. As I mentioned, Mitch Gell and Lucas Scott on Montreal Canadiens hockey. JP, how surprised are you at the chaotic start to this hockey game?
Well, listen, when you're playing with desperation as Buffalo needs to, I think that you have to expect them to be on their toes. They have to be pushing. And if you get a situation like that, unfortunately for Slafkovsky, takes a big spill on the board. Didn't look like he was right to me. And then he comes back in trying to shut down one of the best skaters in the league who makes him look like a fool. And that is just what happens when a goalie gets the puck and gets you in the wrong position. He's got the ability to finish. We saw that. At the same time, Mitch, I mean, we saw a shorthanded goal, and we saw 2 power play goals. Like, let's talk about penalties. Stay on the box, for goodness sakes. Keep the Canadians. You got Mike Matheson. Accidental? Absolutely it's accidental, but it still ends up being a 4-minute penalty. And then you look at the Dano play on the reach-in on Norris. You can't take these penalties at this time of year. And I think that leads to everything. You're getting very little flow. You're getting special teams, which I don't think teams feel is very important tonight. You have to be able to close out. You have to be able to punish. But if things settle down in the penalty department, you'll see a much smoother game.
Now, Campbell, as far as the conversations that you and I have on a regular basis, you always mention that if you're switching goalies midway through a series and then you don't know who your goalie is, you're in big trouble. They go in line. He allows 3 goals on 3 shots. In comes Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen. Buffalo making goalie changes mid-game, 2 games in a row.
Not good. 3 shots, 3 goals. It was easy. It was instant. The moment that Jake Evans went in, they pointed at him. And Luukkonen put his helmet. Like, it was... Canadians hadn't done celebrating. He's already put his helmet on. Let me ask you a quick question, though, just on that point, because I don't disagree with you. But let's say Jake Evans' shot is the Carrier shot, where you couldn't have put the puck in the net and
I don't think it matters.
It's the same thing.
I don't think, I think it wasn't a great goal, but it doesn't really matter. The only thing I'll say about the goalie change is, after that, the Canadians only got 1 shot on Luukkonen.
Yep, the goalie change was a good idea.
The Canadians changed. They had 2 of the best shifts. Kirby Doc stole the puck, but they never got a shot on net. They kept missing. You got to get something on Luukkonen to prove that this guy's not going to settle in. The guy was like, I started, now I'm not starting. His emotions are thrown into a game like this. Got to take advantage of that. Go ahead, Luca, back at the controls.
JP, just to go back to your point about taking penalties, it just feels like Rasmus Dahlin, and whether people may like the calls or not, just in general throughout the series, he's just taken penalties at the most inopportune of times, and I just feel like there's a little bit more onus on it because he is the captain of the team, he is their best player, and he needs, in my opinion, to just be a little bit more conservative when it
No plan to develop your future workforce? Your neck. And I think you're making a mistake if you're the captain of the team. I think they got very lucky because the Sabres scored on the double minor, but Darlene was in the box and he couldn't come out because he was serving it, and there's no whistles for him to go. And in my head, I was like, Darlene takes a stupid penalty, and then they get a double minor power play, and he can't be part of the number one unit. Now, they do score, but I think Darlene got lucky there.
So what are you guys looking at here for the second period? What's the conversation like in the room? I'm sure they don't want the game to be as chaotic in the second period as it was in the first. You have a lead. You look at it. It's a reset, JP. You have a one-goal lead. The reset is mentally. If you told the players on the bench that they were going to have a one-goal lead going into the second period, they take that all day long.
Of course they would. Now, if you think Buffalo comes out the same way, they even got to come out first, don't they? So I think if you're the Montreal Canadiens, you have to be looking at cleaner exits out of your zone. I think you got hemmed in a few times. The first touches weren't as clean as you would like. And it's amazing when you pay attention to that first touch, Mitch. If you pick it up clean and you execute the first pass, usually you're going to be okay. You might have to chip it off the glass. But if you fumble it, if there's a pass in the skates, if something isn't a clean touch, it's incredible how many times you can get hemmed in your zone. So that's the first thing that I would be looking at. And secondly, if you stay in the defensive zone, Canadians just get caught a few times with their sorting, just trying to figure out whose man belongs to who. I would drill down on that, and I think the Canadians will be just fine because offensively, they look to me like they've got it going. Their imagination's running wild. Just hit the net. Don't give any confidence to Luukkonen.
It is 3-2 after the first period. Thanks, guys. There's there's Sean Campbell and JP O'Connor. Victor Finley coming back in about 6 minutes as we have puck drop for the second period of play. Habs up 3-2 on the Sabres after one. Coming up next, you're on the scoreboard.
Catch everything soccer with Bell's Game Time Bundle.
What about every save? Every header?
What's up, everybody? How are y'all doing out there tonight? Game 6, Eastern Conference semifinal between Montreal and Buffalo. First intermission. We got about 4 minutes left till the second intermission begins.
Includes auto-pay credit. Visit
U.S. Soccer, Chicago beats Montreal by a
What's up, everybody? How are we doing out there?
earlier today on TSN 690. Montreal does not get any goals in that one. Montreal Roses also in action in Calgary today, and that game finished 2-2. It was a draw, and PWHL final. Montreal grabs a 2-0 series lead, winning again in overtime. 2-1 the final score again. Maggie Flaherty had the game winner at 14-12 of overtime. Coming up next, the second period, Habs lead Buffalo 3-2. Victor Finley and JP O'Connor with the call.
Second intermission, or first intermission, is just about done. Second period puck drop coming up real soon. Stay tuned. All right, everybody, welcome back. We are getting ready for second period here at the Bell Center in Montreal, Quebec, Canada, between Montreal Canadiens and the Buffalo Sabres in this Game 6 Eastern Conference semifinal.
The referees just coming over, I think, probably making sure everything's okay. Marty Stanley probably having a chat at the situation with Dovesh, keeping players away from Dovesh, or at least planting the seed that that's what they want to see.
Way we go for the second period of play. Habs moving left to right. And they will start in the Buffalo zone. Chris Anderson, far side, dropped it back from Matheson. Puck gets played out to center ice. And Morris on the phone for Buffalo, trying to shuffle it over. Thompson picked up, and Texier would have had a breakaway from center ice.
Texier with a close one, but Buffalo gets it back.
Back into the Buffalo zone. The Sabres go the other way. Here's Benson. Left side. Benson moves in, and Dovish gets the poke check out. As Benson stays with it. Far side corner. Off to Norris.
Carried has broken a stick.
Byram up top. Near side Benson. Back to McLeod. Benson. Far side. Hands it off to Byram. Going Byram, long shot. That took a tip in front, and he scored. Puck was loose.
And that is a goal. Buffalo is tied at 3-3.
To tap it home, it's Benson again, who's been a menace in this series.
Benson.
6 is tied at 3.
Well, there's goal number 5 for Benson. And you're right.
Zach Benson.
There's a broken stick play. Carey takes Dano's stick. Carey a right-handed shot. Dano a lefty. This puck gets fed in from the top of the blue line. think Kovac knows exactly that he does not have it. And Svensson comes in from behind the net, gets it on his backhand, tucks it inside the left-hand post. And there's the start again for Buffalo, 3-3.
Now, JP, you and I have talked a lot about how the series has been different for Tampa Bay in the first round, and Game 6 couldn't be any different from what it was in the first round either. A 1-0 overtime win for Tampa.
And after an unlucky first period for Buffalo, they managed to bounce back after pulling their goalie, and they've tied the game at 3. They're also out shooting Montreal 14-5.
Left side point. Plays it over to Ryan McLeod. Circles high in the slot. McLeod, far side wing. Down low, stops. Feeds it through for Tucky. Put it off of Bonnie and wide. Another drive from Power. That's blocked as well.
It's a great back by Sapkowski as he goes down on power shot.
Side of the net. Buffalo with it. To the line. Here's Byram. Tries a shot. Goes off the stick. Settled down by Slavkovsky. He'll drop it behind the net for Lane Hudson. Now Suzuki drops it again. Canadiens reset. Play to center, picked off by Jason Zucker. Now here goes Hellenis in far side center, and that one just went wide of Connor Timmins, who was looking for the redirect. Back to center it goes again. Habs played in. Right side, Evans with space. Along the boards. Shields the puck from Timmins. Plays it around. Newhook. Shot. That's stopped by Luukkonen, and he'll scramble to cover the rebound here. 2.5 minutes into the second period. And the game tied at 3.
That puck.
Face off near side on Luukkonen. Controlled by Montreal. Here's Deminov. Near side boards. Sending off pressure. Down low. Swept around by Evans. Gets dumped by Metsa. Long shot sails wide. Back in front. Oh, up with a try. That's stop. Wilson. Right at Buffalo. Play it to the far wing.
Multiple chances in front, but Buffalo manages to clear it.
On a number of occasions tonight. Deminov, Newhook, and Evans. As Bolduc is out there now. The shot whizzes wide from the line, courtesy of Gouley. Now here's Deminov.
Here's Demidov
Gouley. Throws
to
it
Gouley.
intentionally wide. It goes right to Jordan Greenway, though, and he'll toss it out to center. As the Habs get some momentum back on a good shift from the second line, and there's a good reverse hit from Zach Bolduc. We got an unsuspecting Beck Malenstein.
And Malenstein ran the goalie the other night, so that's fine.
Sabres in from center. Here's Tage Thompson. Wrister. That's caught by Gomez.
And he'll freeze the puck, and it will be a face-off.
Go in period number 2.
Benson comes crashing into the top of the blue paint. Istriaka is trying to pull him out of the way, but there's Tage Thompson. He knows exactly what he's got to do. He's just got to create a little bit of space and allow the Sabres to get in. Trying to mask Govech's sight. But the opportunity that we just saw earlier with Newhook as well. Newhook just can't find a way to get that puck beyond Luukkonen. That's a score coming into this game tonight. He scored 24 goals and 5-on-5. Newhook had 6 of them. He had 25% of the 5-on-5 goals for the Habs.
Face-off left side on Dobin. Norris in for Benson and Thompson. Tied up off the draw. Habs win it away. Here goes Anderson to center with speed. Right side. Cut off by Powers. The puck's played around. Stolen by Byram. Sabres to center. Benson. In with Norris. Habs under pressure behind the net. Matheson. Will defend off Tage Thompson. The Sabres will gather it at center. Thompson pivots around and throws it over to Norris, who will sweep it in, and they're going to say he didn't touch it.
And that'll be an icing.
Result. Yeah, I don't know about that.
Meyer pointing to the linesman right now and saying this has got to come back to the center circle. Don't know if he's going to win the argument.
Doesn't look like it will, JP. So back to the glove-hand side. We go back to Lukin. We go. It'll be Nick Suzuki in for the draw. Rasmus Dahlin still thinking of the case here for Buffalo. So, of course, Sabres cannot change off of that. We're supposed to keep the same skaters on the ice here. Left-hand side on Lukin.
All right, here we go.
Has won the draw.
Habs win the draw.
There's Slavkovsky.
Slavkovsky.
Around, it goes all the way back to the Montreal zone. Dobish. Moving around to the far corner for a waiting goal at Dobson.
Dobish comes out to play it.
Near side, Suzuki back through center. Caught by Caulfield. Stolen away by Bowen Byron. And here go the Sabres.
Sabres with it now.
Near side, McLeod. Back through the middle. Save from Jakob Dobish.
Big save by Dobish.
Off a great move in front from Alex Tuck. Sabres with it at the line.
Sabres still have it.
Behind the net, Tuck gets to it. But to go back to Joe, almost ended up as a breakaway for Caulfield. Instead, the Sabres settle it back in their own end.
Tuck was going to be sick to his stomach when he sees the replay of this when the Ironbacks back on the bench. He thought he had his first point of the series.
Far side, Hellenis. Low shot turned away by Dobish.
Another save by Dobish.
Here's Power. He put that one wide.
Power shoots it wide.
Back.
Buffalo still has it.
Hellenis long try. That one's off the stick and high.
So the Canadiens have to get their sorting down.
Sabres up top. Power, left side point.
Buffalo still has it.
Works it across. Drops it for Samuelson. Misses blocker side. Side of the net. Zucker can't get that through. Now Milano behind the net.
Montreal with it now.
Settles down the puck. Moved ahead.
He'll move it out.
Center by BUF, and the Sabres will pick it up. They've got the momentum
Mm.
here for 6 minutes.
Turned over by Buffalo.
We've got a 3-3 tie.
Sure do. They feel like they're skating downhill.
We are all tied up here in the second.
It looked like that moments as well to start the second period in game 5. The Habs have it behind their own net. The Montreal Canadiens did come on strong in the last 13 or 14 minutes of period number 2. Take away game 5, and they never look back. This here goes Benson. We'll play it in behind the Sabre net. Norris giving a hard right by over Jackeye. And Norris gives it right back in the corner. To the line, here's Byron. Passes over hard. One-time try from Benson is turned away by Dobish. And the puck spills out to center. Now Byron with it. Right off the boards. Cut off by Montreal. Playing in, looking inside of the net. This side up the corner twos. Long stretch to center, finds Benson. Over the line, and it's pulled up by Matheson. Habs go the other way.
And the crowd loves that. And the crowd loves that one. Big save by Luukkonen. Uh-oh. Might be a too many men call.
The Canadiens had the scoring chance. Anderson couldn't capitalize.
And we'll see what it is here.
And a penalty.
Penalty.
The Habs here. Sabres
Penalty against the Habs. Think it's going to be too many men. Okay, welcome back to the Bell Center. 12:50 to go. Left in the second. 5-on-4. Montreal in the box. Buffalo have the power play.
Just before we went to commercial there, it looked like it was going against the Canadiens. I couldn't figure it out. It didn't make any sense. Josh Anderson takes that pass from Jake Evans. He's in on a partial breakaway. He's allowed to get a shot on net, and then it's the whistle that goes off. So it looks to me like it was going to be Buffalo. Complete confusion on our end as we look at it. Ultimately, we come back and we're correct. And we're going to see Montreal on the power play.
And a great opportunity to capitalize on a momentum shift here for the Habs. As the Sabres.
Watch closely and find the logo. Our online platform is waiting for you. Remember our logo and find us online.
It's been on your to-do list, and now's the perfect time. At FYI Doctors, we provide personalized care with
The corner by Lukanen. Puck comes all the way back to center.
All right, sorry about that.
Bill battle with Carrier now. Here comes Norris with speed. Far side sets it up for Jack Quinney. Fan of the shot. And it's delayed penalty coming up here against Montreal.
There'll be another penalty coming up to Montreal.
Plays it to the far side.
Looks like it's going to be interference on Carrier.
Thompson and Buffalo
2 minutes.
are going to get an opportunity on the man advantage.
Alex Carrier is going to be coming off for an interference penalty.
So Carrier gets the game. Has to not capitalize on their power play advantage. Buffalo will get one of their own here when we come back with 9:50 to play in the second and a 3-3 tie on that docket. CSN 690.
For the first time in a decade, the NHL returns to the
Game 6, we got a 3-3 tie on the Canadian shift here.
All right, 9:50 to go. Left in the second.
To push, you can see the desperation in their game and this play off of the wall with Alex Carrier scrambling back.
If Montreal isn't careful, they might blow that 3-goal lead that they had.
Interference call for Carrier, and Buffalo will get to take the lead.
Or 3-1, sorry.
Face-off blocker sign on goal. Receivers 1 for 3 already tonight on the man advantage.
Thompson's going to get kicked out of this one against Jake Evans.
Hey, Splater. How are you doing tonight, Splater? Thanks for coming in, dude. What's new?
And they'll win this face-off. They got set up on a man advantage. Darlene. Over to Thompson. Snap to the net. Kick save made by Dovish. Rolled back to the line for Darlene. side. Thompson. Snaps it over to Doan. Back up high. Thompson. For Doan. Thompson. Far side now. Darlene. Cross side. Doan. Down. Near side corner. It's Jack Quinn. He'll skate back up into the slot. Thompson near wing. Back high to Quinn. Jack Quinn. Gets it off in the corner. Darlene. Back up high. Quinn. One-timer scores!
Oh, no. Unless you're a Buffalo fan, Jack Quinn, power play goal is fisted by Rasmus Dahlin and Tage Thompson, and it is now 4-3 Buffalo over Montreal. And that is 2 goals that have come on the power play from Buffalo. They are outshooting Montreal 23-11.
Darlene, and he rifles this one short side. Kovac just can't get his glove on it. Can't block it, can't slow it down. It's a clean beat by a strong shot. Look at this first.
A lot, man. I think I just got everything and lost everything. Whoa, what do you mean? Are you all right?
We have ages to go as the Sabres come right back into the Montreal zone. There has not been a dull moment through 31 minutes of play tonight, and we might not get another dull moment for as long as this game will take. As the Habs play it to center. It's 3-0 Canadiens at one point. Sabres rattle back 3 unanswered. That last on the power play from Jack Quinn for Darlene and Thompson at 10:54. Sabres at the line. There's Power. He'll slip it over.
Sabres with it again.
Collected by McLeod. This is going to be whistled down. And JP, this might be the quietest.
And puck goes into the netting. Be whistled down. Face off coming up.
Disagree with you at all. Everybody in the building can feel the momentum as swung. Listen, there's always going to be opportunities inside the game. Not necessarily to sweep the result, but to stifle opportunities or to frustrate or in turn, if you're Buffalo, to ignite, try to build some momentum.
Suzuki versus Hellenis. Face off in the neutral zone. It's one back by Montreal. And here goes Suzuki with the first line. Caulfield, far side. Center. Thompson over the line. Through the middle.
Sorry about that.
Absorbed by Dolbich.
Also sorry to hear that. Thanks for stopping in. You're always welcome here, just so you know.
Just when you think that you've got him pinned down, he moves his stick and the puck is 4 feet away from you, and that's the angle that he uses to change as he releases the quick push shot in on Dolbich, who makes the save.
Seen in this series, and again in particular tonight, JP, it doesn't take a whole lot of time for somebody to string a couple goals together. So anything can happen here with 8 minutes still to go in our second period of play. The Sabres in the shot category right now with a big lead, 24-11. As they'll drag it in behind the Montreal net. Tuck, far side. Hooks it off to Darlene. That's taken away by Bolduc. Lifted off the glass to center. Jamison on it. Sabres control. And carry it near side. Throw shot. That one's fought off by Dolbich. And all the way out to center. Samuelson. Back to neutral territory. Here go the Sabres. Stone driving it far side. All the way to the end boards. They'll feed it to the line for Byram. Loose puck far side. Taken away by Buffalo. Loose in the corner. A reverse hit by Zach Bolduc as he stepped into tuck. That's the center. And
Uh-oh.
took a bit of a shot from Bowen Byram.
Oh, I didn't get a chance to read that one.
Gets past goalie, moves it, passes over, and they score.
Consta Hellenis with Buffalo's 5th goal.
Goalie goes down just at the blue line, allows Zucker to come in on the 2-on-1. Hellenis is on the right.
And if you're Montreal, you can't be too happy with the way things are going right now.
Over to Hellenis. There's goal number 2 for the first rounder for Buffalo.
Now the crowd's not happy, JP, about that little shot from Byram on Valeno as they went through center. It doesn't get called. The Sabres go the other way, and we saw Dovish rob Hellenis twice on the cross-ice feed from Jason Zucker in Game 4. But Hellenis gets the better of Dovish on this occasion, and he's got 2 goals in 2 games for the Buffalo Sabres after having scored in Game 5. And with that goal in Game 5, he became the youngest Sabre to score a playoff goal.
So it is 5-3 Buffalo with about 6 minutes and 15 seconds left in the second. And this has been a tale of 2 periods. First period was all Montreal, and this second period has been all Buffalo.
Buffalo at center. This is stripped away by Demidov. Carries in to the Buffalo zone. This line has been dangerous for the Canadiens tonight. And forced back to center ice here is Demidov fending off pressure. There's a good hit by Matheson. Far side on Thompson. And it's back. It goes to the Buffalo line for Darlene.
And Buffalo has it now.
Away by Montreal at center.
Montreal's got it back.
Now to the far side. Zach Metza. Good seam pass finds McLeod. Left side McLeod through for Benson. Trying to play that through the middle, but no one there for Buffalo. 6:10 to go in the second period. 5-3 Sabres lead. 4 unanswered goals for Buffalo. Hudson settles it down behind the Montreal net.
And Hudson has it behind the Montreal net.
Finds Slavkovsky. He'll fire it in.
Dumps it in.
And behind the Sabre net.
Behind this Buffalo net. Dobson
Throws it away. And
loses it.
Buffalo to center. McLeod.
McLeod with it
Side with Doan.
to Doan.
Cross ice. Blocked by Dobson. Far side corner Suzuki.
Suzuki with it.
You can hear everything going on the ice right now.
It is quiet in this arena.
Buffalo must love this feeling. Here's Caulfield, short side shot. That's cut off by Luukkonen.
Caulfield with a short side shot. Luukkonen with the stop. They're going to hold and go for a face-off. 5:22 remaining in the second period. Buffalo 5, Montreal 3. And Montreal has had virtually no offense since the first period. And we're going to cut the break. Please stay with us. Thank you.
center. Buffalo with a 5-3 lead.
All right, we're back 5:22 here to go in the second period, live from the Bell Center. Montreal down 5-3 to Buffalo. After Buffalo has scored 4 unanswered goals in this period, and Montreal has had virtually no offense to respond with.
Shakuni with 6 unanswered goals. Storm back from 4-0. And ultimately win that game. As the Canadiens are back in their own zone, they need a little Shakuni magic right here for a counter punch on Buffalo into the final 5 minutes of period number 2. Sabres handling near side. Norris spins it around behind the net. Thompson right to the far side. Nobody home, and here go the Habs. With Slavkovsky to center. Darlene steps up on him. That gets the puck loose. And the Sabres knock it around and out to center ice. It gets to Benson. As he'll toss it back into the Sabre zone. Texier with an awkward fall along the wall. Texier banks it down the right side. There's a big hit from Samuelson. He got a good chunk of Josh Anderson. Sabres wrenching around the far side. Not out. Matheson down the wing. Delayed penalty coming up. And then the stick is knocked out of the hands of Darlene.
Uh-oh.
But the Canadiens are going to get a man advantage here.
Okay.
4:05 to play in the second. Habs looked great on their last power play.
And Montreal will go on the power play. Buffalo number 89 for hooking.
Along the wall. It's a quick sidestep, and he gets past Tuck. Tuck's at the end of his arms, gets his stick up high on Matheson's hands. And the Canadiens will find themselves back at the power play, looking to cut this lead with 1.
So Montreal will go on the power play here. 2-minute minor for hooking.
So, GP, this is like a bit of an understatement to say this is a crucial moment in this game here.
And if Montreal can get a goal going into the third period here, that'll be huge.
Down 5-3.
They need some magic at this point.
Off the draw. Habs win it.
Habs win the draw.
Down low, Slavkovsky.
Slavkovsky
Ball for Demidov.
for Demidov.
Saved by Luukkonen.
Saved by Luukkonen.
Swatted around in front, goes back to Demidov.
Back to Demidov.
Hudson.
Hudson.
Caulfield.
Caulfield.
Down low to Suzuki.
To Suzuki.
Back to Caulfield.
To Caulfield.
Hudson with it now.
Hudson.
And moved it over to Slavkovsky. He missed it with the pass.
Slavkovsky misses the pass.
Demidov.
Demidov
Over to Nick Suzuki.
passes to Suzuki.
Down low, Slavkovsky.
Moves it to Slavkovsky.
Crosses in behind the Sabres net for Caulfield.
Behind the net for Caulfield.
Over to Suzuki. Far side Caulfield up top. Hudson shot, not stopped by Luukkonen. Rebound poke to the far side as Caulfield goes down in front.
Uh-oh.
By Greenway. Greenway
No call.
and now Malenstein cut it off and threw it down the ice.
And they'll clear the zone.
Here goes Hudson. Back in quickly.
Hudson's got it now. Come out with their zone with it.
Line. Puck bouncing around. Demidov tried to center. That's chopped into the air. 50-50 puck won by Demidov. 49 seconds to go in the power play. Slavkovsky trying to go cross ice. That's off the body. Goes over to Hudson. His offering to the net is off the body and out to center ice.
And there's block shot.
Second unit starts to get over and onto the ice for Montreal. As they'll get set up in the attacking zone. Far side. Zappaluke shot. That's tipped in front and carries wide.
That's the first good chance of the power play. Bolduc with the shot from the point.
Hudson. From the slot, he'll sift that one wide of the net. No stick for Greenway. Played around in front. He gave it right to Kirby Doc.
Doc with it
Greenway.
to Greenway.
To go in the power play.
10 seconds left in the power play.
Shot. That one took a tip and goes wide as well.
Tipped wide.
Now Power. Chance to clear.
Power.
Goes right to Tuck. Breakaway.
Uh-oh. Tuck getting out of the box. And finally, Dobesh comes up with a big save. Tuck was fishing to get out of the box and look for that long pass and got it and was in all alone and stopped by Dobesh.
That'll keep it 5-3. A bit of a commotion here at the Sabres bench. So the puck went off of Owen Power, who was changing. Is this going to be another 2-minute minor for too many men?
No way. Really?
This is going to be the case. You can see the Canadians having discussions with both referees, but I do not think that we are going to see a penalty to Buffalo for too many men. That save that Jakob Gomez has just made could very well be a game saver at this point, Victor, with under 2 minutes to go in the second.
And how many times, JP, have we seen in this playoff run Jakob Gomez come up with a big save like that to keep his team in it, and they find a way to come back. As Mike Matheson into his own zone here, 1:35 to go in the second period. Anderson scoots in far side. In behind the Sabre net, drives it around. Back behind the net it goes. Mensah is caught up with Philip Deneau. Top shovel it to the line. Matheson, far side, one-time shot. Skips wide of the net off a deflection. That was Evans pulling the trigger, and it's out of play again.
When you take a look at the angle that Evans fires this puck from, I think that's what the Canadians have to get back to right now, is just getting pucks in on Luukkonen as he continues to get locked in, shooting from those odd angles like we saw Jake Evans fire just off the half wall.
Face-off blocker shot on Luukkonen. Deneau in to take it. He was 14 for 18 the last game for Montreal. He is just 1 for 7 tonight. A rare off night through 39 minutes for Philip Deneau in the face-off dot. And this one goes right past Matheson and back into the half zone. Quinn tracking it down for Buffalo. They win possession. Try to bounce it out in front. Quinn handles it far side. Quinn through the middle. Byram shot. That one ricochets off the body and wide. Habs to center. 2-on-2. Here's Evans far side. Goes in on Byram. He'll play it around the boards right to Josh Anderson. Back down low. Hellenis into the corner. Swatted at by Zucker. Out it goes. And it won't have the wheels for icing. Carrier. 35 seconds to play with. Ramped in by Dobson, but over the glass and out of play in Buffalo territory.
Force note, the Canadians want here as they continue to dump that puck into the zone. Unfortunately for Dobson, off the stick into the crowd. With 33 seconds left, the Canadians are hoping to get that puck deep in the zone and see if they can finish off with a little bit of zone time. Get some looks on looking at it.
Life in the Okanagan just feels
Here with an ozone face-off later, and you got to think here, JP, another goal might just be it to make this 6-3.
Well, I mentioned to you earlier, as Tuck comes out of the box, couldn't have come out at a better time as he finds that puck on his stick, skates it in. Dorbesh makes the save.
Off the face-off, Habs win it. They'll drive to center. Demidov moves it in. It's boxed out by Matthias Samuelsson. Sabres play it around. Far side, Dome. Launches it to center. McLeod swept it into the Canadiens' end. And now it's one off a puck battle by Buffalo. Into the slot, shot it coming from Mensah. Ricochets to center. Newhook gets to it. He's going to run out of time. Long shot.
And that will do it for the second period. 4 unanswered goals for Buffalo to take a 2-goal lead, 5-3 over Montreal at the conclusion of this second period.
They have completely flipped the script on the Montreal Canadiens after a first period. They saw the Habs close it out 3-2. Canadians find themselves down to as they head into the locker room, try and reset and come out and close this series out at home.
Zach Benson, his 5th of the playoffs from Thompson and Byram. Quinn from Dahlin and Thompson. And then Hellenis from Zucker and Dahlin. And then Zucker as well back in the end of the first period. That's the 4 unanswered for Buffalo. As the Canadians will need, once again, a comeback win in period number 3.
That's right. Once again, they will need another comeback win.
We'll take a break. It's the second intermission round.
And we're going to break for commercial.
Playoffs to give Buffalo a 4-3 lead with 9:06 to go in the second period.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us. It is the second intermission. Game 6 between the Buffalo Sabres and the Montreal Canadiens. Buffalo is winning 5-3. After 2 periods, it is shots on goal. Buffalo 28, Montreal 15. Hits, Buffalo 17, Montreal 18. Faceoffs 1, Buffalo 20, Montreal 15. Power plays, Buffalo 2 for 4, Montreal 1 for 3. Penalty minutes, Buffalo 10, Montreal 12. Giveaways, Buffalo 8, Montreal 5. Takeaways, Buffalo 3, Montreal 2. And blocked shots might be the difference right now between the shots on goal, with Buffalo leading 13 block shots to 7.
Second period scoring summary. 1 minute in, Zach Benson scores his fifth from Paige Thompson and Bowen Byram. 10:54, Jack Quinn, his first of the postseason power play goal with Rasmus Dahlin and Paige Thompson getting assists. And then at 12:59.
And it's been all uphill for Buffalo since they pulled their goalie in the first period, who let in 3 goals on 3 shots. Lyon. Luukkonen's been good ever since.
Victor, we'll start with you.
He hasn't let in anything.
To this question, but everybody's wondering the same thing. What happened?
Look, I'm going to try and give you a bit of an answer here, but I think we're seeing regular season run and gun hockey, and that is what can happen when you play that kind of style. Sometimes you're better, sometimes you're worse. Boy, there's been a lot of space out there for 2 different teams tonight, and I don't think this game is done at 5-3. I don't believe that's going to be our final score tonight.
There's a couple of things that you can look at and what happened, but I kind of felt like the Canadiens, when they got that 3-1 lead, they played like that, saying the worst lead in hockey is a 2-goal lead. Then it was 3-2, and they still played like they had a 2-goal lead. Then it was 3-3, and they played like they had the lead. Then they were trailing, and they played like they had the lead. They didn't adjust. For a team that adjusts on the fly like the Canadiens do, they're going to have to make changes. And on that front, though, the Sabres, that period was probably the most desperate I've seen the Sabres in this series. They haven't played with any desperation. They got a little life and desperation, and they're rolling on it.
Go ahead, Luka.
Vic, did you feel like that save by Dobesh can give Montreal any kind of life going into this third period? Maybe, have the same kind of impact like the save that he had on Tage Thompson in Game 5.
Yeah, 100%. I think it can, Luka. Look, to just cap an obvious statement, but the biggest impact it has is that it keeps the game at 5-3. I don't know if there's going to be momentum off of that, because that was still a flat end of the period. What's going to help them in terms of momentum is they get an intermission here to figure it out. Somebody from the leadership group is going to stay up or step up and say something. But the biggest impact of the Dolbich save, I wouldn't say so much the momentum, Luka, but just the fact that it's still a 2-goal spread. You come out here hot in the third period, and the Canadiens still have every chance to at the very least tie this game and send it to overtime. And that's the worst case scenario, I think, for them. I still think there's a possibility to have to win this in regulation.
I circled that. But I circled that in Dolbech save. However, you guys are on this side.
We're going to see what we get in the third. Game has gone by fast by my measure.
Really? I didn't catch that.
And right away, the linesman waved it, and they were looking, but I was like, that looked close. You are not allowed to vote
That's right.
on the ice
That's right.
to play the puck. And I thought if he scored, this could have been something to look back on. But I haven't had a second look. But you guys are on this side. I'm on the other side. I don't know if you guys noticed or how close it was.
I'm back. What's up, Flipside? Thank you for joining us again. Hope you got your shit done in time. Hope y'all get some rain too. Drought is not good.
What happened there is Valeno, he got that headshot and goalie, and James had 2 guys deep. He was the 3rd guy, and that led to the odd man rush the other way.
We're pretty dry up here. We had a little bit the other night, but nothing crazy.
To get to the ice, he was just getting on the bench by the time the Sabres scored.
There's another thing that stood out to me on that play, and it was the reverse hit from Bolduc on top. It happened right before along the far side boards, and nobody had the puck at the time, so I thought it was a good play. I like the fact that they didn't call it, but I think had they called Bolduc for interference,
Never rains, and I couldn't get my editing done on my phone, so now I have to do it on my laptop, so I'll be in your stream while I work. Well, all right. I'm all right with that. Thank you for coming in.
because they let the Bolduc reverse hit on top goal.
Hey, when you look at some of the other calls from the first period, right? I would say it was a bad call on the tie-up when Newhook and was it Krebs? No, I don't remember the first penalty.
Oh yeah, it was. You're right.
Was Krebs and Newhook? I thought that was a bit soft.
Yep.
They followed that up by calling a soft penalty on Dano. We've seen an embellishment penalty called on Lane Hudson. The referees, unfortunately, are going to be a talking point of those. But the Canadian power play, when they get those, they have to convert. Yeah, their power play has the puck. But I'll tell you, as Luukkonen had to make a save. He faced 10, but nothing dangerous. And every time they get dangerous, something hits the net. Get one by Luukkonen, doubt will creep in on the Sabres. So yeah, the power play, great possession, puck retrieval, but they're not getting the great chance that they want. All right, you know what we've been doing when the Canadiens trail after 2 periods of play? We all pick one player to get them back in it. We haven't heard from Luca in a minute here, so why don't we start with Luca? Luca, one player to get the Canadiens back in it, trailing 5-3 after 2 periods.
I'm going to choose the guy who I think, the floodgates have kind of been open for since he scored his first NHL goal last game. I'm going to say Ivan Bennett.
Got my mic hooked up to my speaker tonight for something different.
Okay. I was just waiting there for the approval because I know somebody else would pick this guy if I didn't. I'm looking at my calendar. I see it is May 16th. It is a Saturday night, and therefore Cole Caulfield's good for 4 goals here in the third period. Four goals.
Gallo, I could go last because I know you're not taking my guy.
I'm not taking your guy?
No, go ahead.
I might.
Go.
I'm gonna say he's been brutal tonight.
Oh, that was the guy I was going to take.
Okay. I'm gonna go with your Slavkovsky. I'm gonna go with Slavkovsky. He's really fighting it, which means he's gonna score in the third.
There's nothing to indicate that he will be
Nice.
for the Canadiens. But why don't I go with a guy that can score goals? I'll take Newhook.
All right, Newhook adding to his total of 6 so far this postseason. Thanks, guys. Cheers. There's Victor Finlay and Sean Campbell. And this is Montreal Canadiens hockey on TSN 690. Canadiens trail the Buffalo Sabres by a score of 5-3 after 2 periods of play. Coming up next, we'll get you caught up with the out-of-town scoreboard. You're on TSN 690.
Catch
Emmanuel. Did the Sabres win? We're going into the third. In the first period, the Sabres scored first, then Montreal scored 3 goals on 3 shots. Buffalo pulled Lyon and put in Luukkonen, and then Luukkonen's played good, so good that in the second period, Buffalo scored 4 goals to take a 5-3 lead, and it is 5-3, and we're going into the third, dude.
Watch closely and find the logo.
Okay, sorry about that. You're 41 today, so that's your birthday? Well, happy birthday, man. Happy big 4-1, dude. Big 4-1.
There's Kinsey Lalone on the call. Welcome back.
41K.
Talking on TSN 690. You're out at
41K.
Montreal Victoire beat
41K.
by a score of 2-1. That game in overtime. It was Maggie Flaherty with the winner. That was her second goal of the postseason, as you heard in the clip. Montreal grabs a 2-0 series lead in the final. Other scorelines for Montreal teams earlier today: Chicago Fire defeat CF Montreal 2-0. That one was on TSN 690 earlier today with John Still. And the Montreal Roses and Calgary finished tied 2-2 earlier today as well. All right, there's your out-of-town scoreboard.
And we are going to be starting the third period very shortly here.
5-3, Victor Finley and JV O'Connor with the call on the TSN 690 Ads Radio Network.
The Montreal Canadiens Fan Jam, presented by LaCash, comes to life for the playoffs. Be there for the biggest outdoor party in the city, featuring tattoos, a barber, food, drinks, and more. Rain or shine, join us at the Canadiens Plaza next to the
Happy 41st, dude. Happy 41st.
But first come, first served. Experience the playoff frenzy with the most passionate fans. Get all the details at playoffs.canadiens.com.
Hey, you know the difference between the halves and a tire?
No. What?
There's none. They both have pressure.
Yeah, good point. Point S, proud partner of the Montreal Canadiens.
Oh, whoa, what's that sound? I don't know, it comes and goes. You gotta fix that. You can barely hear the game.
Yeah, good point. Point S, until June 30th, get one.
And we're getting ready for an action-packed third.
Details at points.ca.
Action-packed third period.
Professional with 65 years of experience, SO Insurance has proven to be totally dedicated to serving its clients. Present in 12 regions in Quebec, their brokers have one priority. to find
That's all there is to it.
Available to insure your home, car, and all other types of motorized vehicles. Call 833-370-2704 or visit SOR.ca to ask for a quote. You deserve the best broker there is. SOR Insurance, official damage insurance partner of the Montreal Canadiens.
I'm with a Habs fan. Heading into the next game, what are you hoping for?
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's about winning battles, winning draws, and winning tickets.
Tickets?
Yeah, Desjardins has this contest to win tickets. Yeah, put your name in, give yourself a chance, and you live with the result, you know?
You heard it, Desjardins.
Live with the result. You'll have to live with the result.
Tickets to the next Habs home game. Contest details and entry at desjardins.com/Habs. Conditions apply. This is Montreal Canadiens hockey on your home of the Habs, TSN 690.
Welcome back to the Bell Center.
All right, we're getting ready for the third period here.
With Montreal Canadiens and the Buffalo Sabres. 5-3 lead for Buffalo after 40. Victor Finley here with JP O'Connor on the call. And a little bit more life right now, JP in the Bell Center, as everyone's had 17 or so minutes to process what just happened in the last 20.
Have you processed everything that happened last night?
No, it's not partially, not full.
Listen, Victor, here's the thing. It's not often that you hear this. Maybe more a little bit more about the team. But even the Bell Center...
And here we go. Montreal crowd is giving their team a good cheer to motivate them.
The third period of play between Montreal and Buffalo in Game 6 as the Habs go back into their own zone, moving from right to left. They've got the Suzuki line out to start. And this crowd is ready to go in the third period. Trying to will the Canadiens back into this one.
Battle in the corner with Matheson and Thompson.
Habs win it. And up to center they go. Caulfield chases down the puck. It's taken away by Matthias Samuelsson. Deep in the Sabres zone. Habs get it back. Near side corner. Suzuki steps out. Over to Slavkovsky, far side. To the line. Carrier. Cross ice. Matheson holds it in. Back into the slot. Suzuki drops. Carrier. Far side. Matheson couldn't handle the pass. And
Couldn't get it.
to try it free in the corner. Up it comes for Josh Norris. He's just going to launch that out to center. And good backspin on that. That helps out Lane Hudson.
Lane Hudson.
Speeding in left side. Hudson with a shot. Caught off by Lukanen. Far side. New hook.
Benson with a block.
All the way up the wing.
Up the wing.
Cycled in behind the net.
Back behind the net.
Byram cuts off Ivan Demidov. And the puck is nudged to center by Josh Doan. Racing after it. Lane Hudson's going to get there first.
Hudson's got it again.
They'll feed it to center. Jake Evans throws it in off the backhand, and Owen Byram to pick it up for Buffalo.
Byram with it now.
As it played out through center ice, back onto the stick of Hudson. Here goes Caulfield. Or rather, check that new hook in on the left side.
Editing pisses me off so much sometimes. Yeah, I can imagine it's very nitty-gritty, precision type work. Little to no room for error.
Not much speed here. Zach Bolduc has to slow down at center ice. He'll throw it in. Habs getting a line change in.
Power quick, took themselves out of play.
Here's Doc near side. 17:45 to go in the third. 5-3 lead for Buffalo. Suzuki far side. Taken away by Ponce de Helenas. Off the boards. Kicked around by Matheson and punched out by Buffalo. Here's Bolduc now. Left side. Lays it in from center. Darlene behind his own net under pressure. Trying to hand it off. That's into the skates of Zach Bolduc. Down low, Suzuki centered it, and that gets away to the point for Mike Matheson.
Montreal still has it.
Free by Buffalo. Here goes Benson down the far side.
Buffalo's got it. Benson
Pass is over, and nobody there for Buffalo is
missed on the pass.
but no shot, and here goes Anderson the other way. All by himself, waiting for his line mates to catch up. Anderson gets it back to the line. Here's Hudson's shot. That one goes off his stick. And Buffalo back to center. Is poke it ahead, and the Canadiens will settle down with Texier. Right back ahead to center goes Texier. Near side, in on Zach Metza.
Oh, flip side, by the way, I went back to the game store and I was able to trade Dracula back, and I got Sim Earth and Sim City.
Passes over. Metza passed it right back to the far side. That gets away from McLeod.
Pretty happy about that.
Buffalo threatened transition, but no shot.
The puck's jumping around a little bit on the Sabres, but a couple of decent opportunities early on. Just about 4 minutes into this period.
Nice, yeah.
To go in the
They were cool about it.
5-3 Sabres.
Straight across the table, no questions.
Picked up by Montreal back to center. Siphoned down the near side. Goulet. Deep in Sabre territory.
Oh, hang on. All right, sorry about that.
Lineup, a guy who doesn't need too many looks, shoots it a ton. He might be the wild card the Habs are looking for.
Habs far side Sabre zone. Played around the boards. Near side. Lane Hudson. Back behind the net. Slafkovsky center. He wanted Caulfield. It goes off the stick of Luukkonen.
Too bad. Luukkonen broke it up.
Driven into the boards by Lane Hudson. Habs to center. Suzuki. Feeds it back to Hudson. Galloping in from center. Down the left side. Hammers a slapper wide. As it comes all the way around for Suzuki. Back up high. Hudson can't get it through to the net. And pick it off at center. Lane Hudson looks like he's got intentions of trying to get the Habs back into this game.
No question. But what a stop that was, is that pass was directed right to Thompson, who had got in behind all the defenders. If Hudson doesn't pick that puck clean out of the air, that's a
And Montreal is in trouble right now. They can't even get any shots on net.
Comes around for Tage Thompson. 14:45 to go in the third. 5-3 Sabres lead.
5-3, Buffalo still leads.
They've got it right now in their own zone. Skip ahead to center ice. Tuck under pressure. This gets knocked away right to Ryan McLeod. And he'll toss it off the boards out to center. Picked up by Tuck. Drives in far side, turning away from Mike Matheson. Tuck. Played cross ice off the boards to no one in particular. The Habs take it away. And Bolduc will toss it in from center ice. Now Darlene. Up the far wing. Nudged ahead by Zucker. Habs get back on it. Here's Lane Hudson. He might be playing every other shift.
Yeah, they're giving Hudson a lot of time.
He might not leave the ice. Habs moving in from center. Looking out to stop it. Look out, Anderson into the forecheck. Habs taken away. Far side, Deneau. Is erased along the boards. As the puck comes loose to center for Lane Hudson. Back in his own zone with Noah Dobson. Pass ahead is cut off by Zach Metza. Here goes Metza. First side with Benson. Pulls up, takes a shot. That's stopped by Dobish.
Rebound rolls out to Philip Deneau. And now look out. Here go the half down the far side.
Here we go.
Anderson.
Anderson.
Tried to switch over
Nothing.
to the other side. That's broken up by Buffalo.
Buffalo broke it up.
Trying to draw that penalty from Norris. As Norris got caught at center. And it's back into the Sabres zone it goes. 13-10 to play in this third period. Habs have it at center. Here's Ivan Demina. Lost it.
Habs with it now.
Over the line, that's going to be
Offside.
13:01 to play.
13:01 to play. Montreal desperately needs a goal. Buffalo is sitting fairly comfortably right now. And we'll stop for a commercial break. I'm being too loud.
Sabres in front of me. I'm talking about discipline every time they come back to the bench. Discipline and staying out of the box, but also discipline.
Alrighty. Alrighty.
Don't let numbers get in behind you.
Neutral zone face-off win for Buffalo.
Buffalo wins the faceoff.
Snaps it left side, never got it in over the line. Stick handle back to Owen Power.
Buffalo still with it.
Alex Tuck.
Tuck.
Throw that wide to Dobich. Now here's McLeod center. Tuck with a shot, and Dobich fends that one off.
Big save by Dobesh.
See with it again. There's a try for McLeod. That one hit the crossbar.
Jeez. That was close there. Buffalo with a crossbar.
Driven deep into Buffalo's end. Sabres coming.
Emmanuel says Sabres. It's looking that way, Emmanuel.
At the line, long shot.
It's looking like it.
Buffalo back to center and chip it in.
Canadians lucky to get away with that one. The crossbar ends up saving them as they puck watch. The Sabres get the puck under control, feed it out through the slot area, and allow a golden opportunity to put this game away.
Have snap it across. That's going to go for an icing call.
Now we got an icing call.
And the faceoff goes all the way back to the Montreal zone.
Face off in Montreal zone.
It's a masterclass here. Funny act of Dolbish tonight.
No, that's it. As you start to get a little bit nervous, as you start to press, all you want to do is you want to head up ice. You're just looking for that opportunity.
Where's stupid Shipley? That Baltimore. Who's he cheering for? Cheering for Buffalo?
You know, watching Colorado, Minnesota the other night. Just going to see the thrilling game 5 and saw the Wild up by 2 late in the third. Colorado tied it, then Brett Kulak won it in overtime. And that eliminated Minnesota. So perhaps the fact that's a 4.5 score for Colorado, that might be a good omen for tonight.
I'd assume a Capitals fan. Gotcha.
In the wrong zone, can't get it out. Here's Rasmus Dahlin.
All right.
They'll throw it to the far corner.
Oh.
Take it away, can't get it out. Sucker plays it right back in behind the net. Nearside Caulfield.
Oh, this is over.
Canadians.
Goal by Buffalo, 6-3. Jack Quinn on the power play
And he'll fly it to center.
after Anderson takes an interference penalty.
Canadians corral.
And that should do it, ladies and gentlemen. That should do it.
Period. 5-3 for Buffalo.
You just take a look at Buffalo right now. They got 4 guys in the neutral zone at all times.
And the Sabres have iced it here.
That should do it.
Look at that last shift. It's line has just come off the ice. The minute
The Sabres now have a 6-3 lead with 10 minutes left in the third. And they are outshooting Montreal 33-16. Sabres weren't going away quietly. That's right. They were not. After an embarrassing first period, a goalie change has given them all the confidence, and they look like they got this game all but wrapped up at this point.
For Montreal, Josh Norris again for 10 for 13. Cano wins this one. Hudson spins around at the line. Snapped around in the near corner. Caps pick it up with Josh Anderson. He'll drive up high, and the pass goes to center ice. And then it's given away to Benson. Moves in far side shot, and Dobish got a piece, but there's a penalty on Montreal. So Dobish makes another save to keep it a 2-goal game, but the Sabres will get a 5-on-4.
Josh Anderson not too happy with this call. Josh Anderson comes up the half wall, gets the puck back to Hudson. Hudson's not able to keep it in. It's an awkward play that comes back, but Hudson bumps it back to Anderson in the neutral zone. He's coming through with heavy crossover, trying to gain all kinds of speed, lose the handle on the puck. And it's a quick chop in on Benson's hands that triggers the referee to get his arm up in the air. Buffalo back to the power play.
Sabres have 2 power play goals.
And Buffalo looks to be well in control at this point.
And win this faceoff right back to Darlene. They have given up a shorthanded goal tonight. It was the last goal the Habs scored. All the way back in the first period, Jake Evans. Here's Benson trying to center. That's cut off. The Habs will drive it to center. They're going to be aggressive here. Down by 2. Darlene able to get this away from Newhook. And now here goes Buffalo to center ice. Josh Dillon plays it left side for Benson. Sabres get set. Thompson up high. Over to Rasmus Dahlin. Long wrister. That's blocked away by Dobish. Back up the far side. Thompson over to Quinn. Minute 18 to go in the kill for Montreal. Quinn, far side shot, and he scores! And Jack Quinn fires another home on the power play. That's a bullet from the far side, and it's 6-3 Sabres.
Jack and Dobish never saw that. And you can see
6-3 Buffalo.
it took him forever to get going. Finds one early on, and then this is a bullet from just above the goal line. All kinds of traffic in front of Dobish. He can't figure out where this puck is coming from. And no mistake by Quinn.
That's 2 tonight for Jack Quinn.
Jack Quinn with 2 goals.
Play. 10:02 to go in this third period. That Quinn record comes at 9:56, second of the night. And we're going to have a goaltender change for Montreal. How about that, JP?
And Montreal is going to change their goalie now.
Game 6.
6 goals on 34 shots.
Right now, 10 minutes to go. It's essentially mop-up duty, but maybe a little bit of a spark. Certainly more concentration by the Canadiens.
Watch closely.
Here's Tuck. Going to be 2-1 for Buffalo. Tuck in with the cloud. Tuck trying to thread that through off the back
backhand that's broken up.
And Buffalo is well in control here.
Between the two defenders. So waiting Ukko Pakalukinen.
Victor, you and I talked about this in the intermission, that if Buffalo came out and just parked the bus, that there would be an opportunity for Canadians to get back into this, but I think they can afford to do that now with a 3-goal lead.
Sabres play it down low. And behind the Montreal net, here's Costa Hellenis.
And Buffalo's got 3 goals on the power play tonight.
To the far corner it goes.
They've come back and won more face-offs. Montreal was leading in face-offs for
Fair amount of ice time for
the majority of the
Sabres.
game.
Stanley Cup playoff game. Metsa at the point. As a shot tipped wide by Jason Zucker. Canadians snap it back through center. All the way down. Into the Buffalo zone. That's going to go for nice.
Ding.
So Lindy Rock opting to shake things up with his line condos. Makes the change with Shed out. Metsa in. But line back between the pipes.
Okay, I'm going to upload this thing now. Yeah, I guess you're glad to be done with it. It's getting on your nerves.
They hope that the team comes through, and then pretty quickly it can turn into what looks like a careless wager. Buffalo is looking like they're going to be able to pull this thing back to the Keybank Center for Game 7.
Canadians trying to muscle the puck out to center. Back into their own zone it goes. And you know, JP, I can't think of anybody who's happier that a potential Game 7 since puck is out of play than the Carolina Hurricanes.
As long as it can continue, just keep beating each other up.
8:27 to go in this third period. Sabres up 6-3. We are back in a moment here on Habs Hockey on TSN 690.
For the first time in a decade.
Period in Game 6.
All right, 8:27 to go in this third period.
Minute, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 unanswered goals. Jack Quinn with the latest on the power play. Buffalo are 3 for 5 tonight. And the Canadians will need some kind of miracle here to win this series on home ice. The Sabres hoisted out to center. Goes all the way back for Noah Dobson. He'll scoop it up in his own zone.
Dobson starts out with it.
Now here's Valeno. Down the left side. Crunched into the boards. It's carried around for Josh Doan. And Doan will just play it in over the Montreal blue line.
Oh, that's just a high stick in the corner.
Here's Hudson moving in.
Hudson with it.
Plays it in behind the Sabre net. That's
Puts it in.
by Buffalo. And Jason Zucker off the far side. Moves it to center.
Buffalo with it now.
Canadians pick it up there. Now it's chipped in by Uri Slavkovsky.
Ooh.
Pakalukinen gets out to reel it in, and he will cover up.
Ooh. And It just gets worse, ladies and gentlemen.
In the last couple of periods, they have been playing very simple and direct.
It just gets worse.
And they've connected on a bunch of goals. Canadians have had no answer. It looks like we're going to see the sixth man come on the ice. Fowler's heading off to the bench, 7:27. We saw Buffalo hold the goalie pretty early in game 5. We see the Canadians do it here in Montreal in game 6.
Now, Marty St. Louis not wanting to give up, and he's throwing everything he can here at this game now with 7.5 to play, and the half's down by 3. 6 on 5. Davidoff centers Caulfield trying to lift that one home near side on Luukkonen. That goes wide.
We have the sharp side kicked out.
Towns got it up top. Hudson. Near side Suzuki. Down low to Caulfield. Hudson. Ball with it. Gets there to Suzuki. Wristed. That stopped by Luukkonen.
And it is done.
Near side corner. Suzuki. Behind that Caulfield out in front. Slavkovsky with a tricky shot. That's fought off by Luukkonen.
Montreal with a few more shots here, but
Thompson. Near side banked off the boards. Half swinging around in front. Suzuki tried a shot band on it. Thompson up top. His wrister snaps his stick up the watch.
oh, he breaks his stick.
Zucker and powered off the boards to center. Knocked down by Hudson.
That was almost a magnificent keep in by Hudson. The puck just comes out on there would have been 6 on 4.
Has played around in front. Bouncing puck for Caulfield. Can't settle it. Now far side. Davidoff with a shot. That one's caught by Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen, and he'll squeeze it for the whistle.
Well, we saw Davidoff with a shot like that in the first period, trying to go short side on Ryan.
Now it's time for a cold one. That's right. Reward yourself. Reward yourself for your hard work.
Again in tight. This time it's Luukkonen who makes a save.
At least 6:18 to play. The Sabres up 6-3. Out shooting the Canadiens here too, 34-20. Has win the face-off. Matheson off the Texier. Down low. Doc center. Shot incoming. Doesn't get through. That was Bolduc. But right off the leg. And the Canadiens gather in their own zone.
Canadians in it with their own zone, in their own zone with it.
In through center. Left wing. Chips it in. Timmins. Right back around. Picked off by Kirby Doc. Sabres get to it. Fly it out. And this one is going to go right into the middle of the empty net.
And that is it. That is it.
Away for sure.
Game over. Empty netter. 7-3 Buffalo over Montreal. Emmanuel, I don't know what to say other than damn, dude. Just damn.
Folks are starting to stream out of Bell Center.
Well, if you were hitching on a game 7 on Monday nights, you were in luck because you were going to get one here with a 7-3 score, 5:48 to go. In this third period to play for the second straight series. The Habs are going to go to this.
Plenty of opportunities on that 6 on 5 sequence. We see Caulfield in tight. Just couldn't get one home. Played that amount of time with the empty net. Somebody's going to find one eventually. And it's Thompson who gets his third point of the night, his first goal.
Habs played into the Buffalo zone. Picked up by Darlene. Fowler back between the pipes here for Montreal. And right have to make a save. This is chopped wide by Beck Allenstein. Sabres get their fourth line out there. Though it's featuring Josh Dolan at the moment. Now we get the change in. The Sabres play it around. Behind the Buffalo net, here is Owen Power. Slides it over to Zach Metza. Ricochets around in the Buffalo zone, out of play. 5 minutes to go in this game. Could be the worst, if I way to call it now. 55 minutes down, 5 to go. 7-3 Buffalo here in Game 6. We'll take a break on Habs Hockey at TSN 690.
I'm with a Habs fan. Heading into the next game, what are you hoping for?
And this game is all but over, ladies and gentlemen.
night. A game where it starts
So Game 7 will be Monday night.
32 seconds in.
If you look at Buffalo when they needed their top guns to be there tonight, you look at exactly what's happened here. You've got James Thompson with 4 points, Rasmus Dahlin, the captain, with 4 points. Jack Quinn has finally come out,
Got to save a dice in here.
finally come out of the slump that he was in, the goal scoring slump, at least with 2 laser beams.
Now we mentioned that Quinn looked dangerous in the series.
Well, we've seen it in post, we've seen it in
Now it's time to game.
wide of the net as well. Plenty of
Right on.
Has control.
Absolutely.
Long shot from Luukkonen, or rather from Dobson, stopped by Luukkonen. And with this loss, we still got 4:40 to go. 7-3 Sabres. Home teams in the Stanley Cup playoffs are going to drop to 12 and 21. That is a strong road record here for all road teams in this year's Stanley Cup playoffs. Now that might play in the big with the hats here, going on the road for Game 7. So go back into their own zone. Here's Lane Hudson with it. Floated ahead for Joe Galeno. Chips and chases after it. Looking it out to move it around to the far corner. Consta Hellenis. Active center. Let's sweep it in. How about Luukkonen, JP? Coming in for Alex Lyon. He's been perfect on 16 shots.
Well, everybody, I'm going to just terminate this. Thank you, everyone, for coming out. Thank you for hanging out. Buffalo's clearly going to win. And hopefully, with any luck, I'll be streaming Game 7 in Buffalo on Monday night. Thanks again, everybody. Everybody take care and have a good night.